Selective breeding has allowed us to create living art with the geckos we breed. In this video, I'm going to show you the ugliest gecko I have and the most beautiful geckos I have. I am also going to show you my favorite gecko I have ever produced. So stick around and enjoy the show. And if you think I'm superficial or materialistic, then go get a gecko at Petco where you fucking belong. Yeah, bro, I'm an aggressive person, dude. Okay, so this girl here is the ugliest gecko I have ever had in my collection. And as you can see, why she's so ugly is because she's just a plain buckskin coloration. She's a phantom Dalmatian. She doesn't even have that many Dalmatian spots. She's actually so old. And I got this girl from somebody, I don't remember who, but I think it was somebody's pet. And she has this little hump on her back. Just looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and she has absolutely no crest. So when we're breeding for crested geckos, we obviously like the crest. We like the big floppy heads, and this girl has none of that. So this is why she is the ugliest gecko I have. So this might be my ugliest Gargoyle Gecko, and it still doesn't even compare to how ugly that other crested gecko was. But I just want you to see how far along we've came with the Gargoyle Geckos. This is like a regular brown striped Gargoyle Gecko. You know, no color, the stripes aren't bold, it's kind of like bland, but it's still, you know, still a gecko that I would keep. It's a little bit respectable, right? Now I'm going to show you how far we've come along with the Gargoyles and the Cresteds. Alright, now that we got those ogres out of the way, now we can start getting into the 6, 7, or even 8 category. So this is what I would classify as like a, you know, like a mid to top level gecko. This is a really nice quad stripe, perfect pinstripes, a decent head structure as you can see, perfect lateral stripes, and just a pretty good color. Obviously she's a little bit older, so she's past her prime, but you know, I'd give this gecko like a solid 7.8. So this is what we would consider a mid-tier Gargoyle Gecko. You can see not the most impressive gecko as you can see, but you know, he has a red base, some baby blue eyes, a decent amount of red blotching. So he could be maybe like an 8.1. And he bit me, he's an asshole. Alright, so now we start talking about the geckos that are actually respectable. These two girls are what I would consider elite level geckos. They're both lily whites, but they just have super high coverage. Obviously the color is just popping on these animals, and they have decent head structure. On top of that, these girls are going to help me produce some frappuccinos this year because they've been paired up to my cappuccino male. I'll cut them some slack. Both of these girls on the scale, they get maybe like a 9.3. Alright, so now we're stepping into a different galaxy of Gargoyle Geckos. These are some of my top Gargoyle Geckos. This is Deadpool Jr., red base with those red stripes, red laterals, just a completely red animal. And then this girl here is one of his females, and she is also full red laterals, a super stripe, really solid stripes down the back, even has a little bit of eyebrow color. And this is what I would consider like top tier Gargoyle Geckos. Definitely would rate these guys 9.8 out of 10. Both of them. They're the popular kids at school. Okay, so this is the epitome of Gargoyle Geckos right now. This super stripe, red stripe, 6 stripe, whatever you want to call it, Gargoyle Gecko is absolutely insane. It's so young and it already has so much head, lip, and eyebrow coloration. It is literally insane. I literally think this is the best looking Gargoyle Gecko on the planet because of how young it is. And you could already start to see these spots of red are starting to pop up, and eventually it's going to keep taking over and it might just create a solid red gecko. This gecko is my favorite gecko production ever, and I am so stoked to see how this one looks at an adult size. So this girl here is the ugliest gecko I have ever had in my collection. The ugliest gecko I have ever had in my collection. Ugliest gecko I have ever had in my collection. And as you can see, why she's so ugly is because she's just a plain, you know,